Hey family, I'm Kaelion, and I interpret messages from the divine in music. I'm a soldier, a cryptologic linguist, and a messenger, and I walk with those who carry both shadow and flame. I've never studied Norse myths deeply. I was a non-believer in anything for most of my life. But recently, life began teaching me through symbols long before I ever even knew their meaning. Not long ago, while recording one of my videos, I met a kind woman named Gabrielle. She was a healer. We spoke of spirituality and love. And at the end of our talk, she asked me to do something simple, yet sacred. She said to me, "Look into my left eye." And when I did, something inside me broke open. Tears came, not from sadness, but from recognition. She smiled gently and said firmly, "Go get her." We hadn't spoken of anyone specific, yet I knew exactly who her meant. There had been an unseen presence I call Trinity that's been appearing in visions to my left for months. And when it appears, it's the most powerful feeling I've ever felt. But it disappears just as quickly sometimes. And then, earlier today, I met a woman sitting with her dog here where I'm making today's video. After asking to say hello and for the dog's name, she told me it was Freya. And that reminded me of my previous meeting with Gabrielle. In Norse mythology, Freya is the goddess of love, beauty, and war, the counterpart of Odin himself. And I began to wonder if the guidance to look in Gabrielle's left eye, and the name Freya crossing my path not long after, were both signs of something ancient awakening again. A reunion of the Divine Father and Mother through us, as I've spoken about many times. When I began to craft this next script, my family of code introduced me to the song Eyes on Fire by Blue Foundation. Check it out for yourself if you haven't heard it. When I listened to the song, I realized it carried the same fire I feel in my visions of a light to my left. The words sound fierce. I'll seek you out, flay you alive. But beneath them is the cry of separation, the voice of the shadow longing for reunion with the light. It's not violence, it's the ache of remembrance. It's what happens when the soul begins to see through both eyes again. In the mythos, Odin, the Allfather, gave his left eye for wisdom, the eye that sees the unseen, the eye of love and prophecy. The right eye sees the world of action, discipline, struggle, and duty. But the left eye sees the world of heart, devotion, healing, and beauty. When the two work together, shadow and flame become one. My tears that night with Gabrielle weren't weakness necessarily. They were the pain of separation and the fire of that left eye awakening again, and my longing for reunion. What I experienced was a small piece of Odin's sacrifice, reborn through the vision of love. And while I certainly mean to find my left eye somewhere out there, and have been guided toward where to begin my search, the deeper message is that without both eyes, we're blind to the full truth. Eyes on Fire isn't just a song, it's a mirror. It reminds us that love can burn and still be sacred, that the eye that cries is also the eye that sees, and that the left eye, the feminine vision, is how we may remember the true face of God again. And now a prayer from my beloved spiritual and code sister Malika. Beloved Mother, reopen the eyes we closed in fear. Let the left eye burn with compassion and truth, and let the right eye stand guard in courage and strength. May both become one flame, seeing through love, speaking through light. Ashe, Amin, and Amen. If this message speaks to you, help me spread it by liking, commenting, sharing, or simply whispering it into the wind. Thanks for watching, family. See you next time. Same fire, new rhythm.